Welcome to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. Today we're making two different kinds of copycat breads. The first one is a Cranberry Walnut Artisan Bread. Now if you've ever been to Costco, you may have seen a similar type of bread. It's a beautiful artisan loaf with cranberries, crunchy walnuts, and a very chewy texture. This is a wonderful bread for your holiday table, or even to slice up for breakfast with a little butter or cream cheese. Now the ingredients that we need for the Cranberry Walnut Artisan Bread are bread flour, walnuts, cranberries, active dry yeast, honey, coarse sea salt, and warm water. Very simple ingredients that many of us have at home. Now I'm going to be measuring my flour today, so I have a food scale, making sure that the water is warm so that the yeast will develop. I have an instant read thermometer, and we'll be using a covered Dutch oven with parchment paper to bake the bread. Now this is a very moist, sticky dough, and by baking it in the Dutch oven, it really traps that moisture and gives it its special texture and chewiness. Now this is day one of making this bread. So we're going to mix up all the ingredients today, and then we're going to cover it and leave it out in room temperature overnight for 12 to 18 hours to let it have a really slow rise, and it really develops a depth of flavor by doing so. So let's get started mixing the dough. I've measured out 390 grams. That's about 3 cups plus 2 tablespoons of bread flour. Now you can use bread flour or all-purpose flour. I prefer the bread flour. It just gives it that extra good texture for an artisan loaf. So in my measuring bowl here, I have 1.5 cups of water, and I want it to be around 95 degrees. So just warm water. Not too hot or it'll kill the yeast. Okay, it's still a little bit hot. It's about 105 degrees, so while that's cooling off a little bit, I'm going to mix up the other ingredients. So I have my flour here, as I said, 390 grams, or 3 cups and 2 tablespoons. And I want 2 teaspoons of coarse sea salt. Add that right to the flour. And then I have 3/4 cup of chopped walnuts. This is what's so easy about this recipe. You can just add all of the ingredients and mix up the dry with the wet, and you're good to go. So I'm adding in 3/4 cup of dried cranberries. Now if you want to use raisins or any other kind of dried fruit, go right ahead. So into the water, we need something that's sweet to develop the yeast. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of honey. And the water is about 98 degrees now. Now because of the long rise, it doesn't require as much yeast as typical bread recipes do that have a shorter rise time. So the recipe only calls for 1/2 teaspoon of yeast, so I'm going to sprinkle that right on top. You want to just make sure that that's active yeast, so give it about 5 minutes to see if it starts foaming. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes and I can see foam on the top of the yeast. So I'm going to start adding it to the dry ingredients. Now the dough will be very sticky, so don't be tempted to add more flour. We'll just try and form it into a ball as best we can here. It really helps to have one of these silicone spatulas. Okay, you can see that that's shaped into a ball. Now we're going to cover it. Okay, just like that, and we're going to have it sit out at room temperature overnight for 12 to 18 hours. And then tomorrow we'll finish the process. This is a no-knead bread, so we'll just be lightly shaping it into a ball and putting it in the oven to begin baking. So we'll use our Dutch oven tomorrow, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back with our Cranberry Walnut no-knead bread. It's been sitting on the counter, covered tightly, overnight. So it's been a little over 12 hours, and you can see it's spread out. It's quite a big bowl, and it's spread out. And it's perfectly normal for it to be very wet and little air bubbles on top, and that's really what we have here. So what we want to do is just have a lightly floured surface. Start removing it. And it's a no-knead bread, so we don't want to mess with it too much. A little dough scraper that might help with this. I'm kind of questioning if that half a teaspoon of yeast was enough. It's just chock full of cranberries and walnuts. And really all we want to do is just form it into a nice little loaf. Okay, for this step, I have a piece of parchment paper. Now we'll be lifting the parchment paper into the Dutch oven, but I just want to put it there, and we're going to have it, I'm going to put it into a bowl for now. And you want to put it into a bowl for this second little rest so it doesn't spread out more. You noticed in the bowl overnight it really spread out. So this time I'm just going to cover it tightly. You can do it either with plastic wrap or a towel. Now before we cover it, we want to score it with a little, I've taken a pair of clean kitchen shears. You can also use a knife. I'm just going to cut a little X right there so it can breathe. Then I'm just going to cover it with kitchen plastic wrap. And we're going to let it rest on the counter for 30 minutes. So during this time, we also want to preheat our oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. Now 475 degrees is very hot, but that's what this calls for. So we want to place our Dutch oven in and leave it in during this whole rest time, 30 minutes. So your Dutch oven is going to be extremely hot, and that's exactly what you want. Okay, so we'll be back after 30 minutes after our dough has rested. And our Dutch oven, very, very hot Dutch oven. Then we're going to lift our bread in the parchment paper, being very careful not to touch the pan. And then place the lid back on. And we'll bake it in the oven at 475 degrees for 25 minutes. Then we'll take it out, remove the lid, put it back in until it browns and reaches an internal temperature of 195 degrees. So we'll set our timer for 25 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, it's been 25 minutes. Oh, it's looking good. Okay, it goes back in now for another 8 to 10 minutes with the lid off. Okay, 10 more minutes has passed. We'll see how the bread is doing. So that's nice and brown. We'll see if the internal temperature is at 195 degrees, and it's perfect. I'm going to lift this onto a cooling rack, and then we'll let it cool for a little bit before we do a taste test. Look how pretty that loaf is. I've waited long enough for the taste test of the Copycat Costco Cranberry Walnut Bread. Let's slice into this. Oh, it looks so good. I love the ends too, the little butter. Now I think this is a perfect bread to have in your bread basket at Thanksgiving or any holiday. A little variety never hurt anyone. That is incredible. Oh yeah. The chewy, crusty exterior, the soft insides, the crunchy walnuts, the tangy cranberries, dabbed with a little butter. The only thing I was worried about with this recipe was if I had enough yeast in there, and clearly it came out perfectly. So I'm not going to change a thing. I'll put the recipe in the description box below, and I really hope you try this. It's fantastic. Next up, we're going to do another Copycat bread that's perfect for your holiday table and will go great in a bread basket. We're going to do Cheesecake Factory's Brown Bread. Stick around. The ingredients for the Copycat Cheesecake Factory Brown Bread are whole wheat flour, bread flour, honey, active dry yeast, salt, rolled oats, butter, unsweetened cocoa powder, molasses, cornmeal, and warm water. Okay, now we're getting started on our Cheesecake Factory Brown Bread. First thing we want to do is get 1.5 cups of very warm water. We want it to be about between 105 and 115 degrees. And then we'll put in 1 tablespoon of honey. And we'll just stir that up. Now the yeast will feed on that honey. Put in 1 package of active dry yeast, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons. We'll give that a little stir, and we're going to put that aside for 5 minutes until it starts to get a little foamy. Next, I have 2 1/2 cups of bread flour. I'm going to add 1 2/3 cups of bread flour. Next, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. I'm just going to give that a good whisk. Okay, my yeast mixture has sat for about 5 minutes and it's nice and foamy, so we know the yeast is active. I want another 1/4 cup of honey. Add that right in. I want 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to soften that really quickly in the microwave. While that cools down a little bit, I want 2 tablespoons of molasses. Now this will really give it that brown bread flavor that's so good. Okay, we're going to mix that well, and then we'll add our butter in. Okay, now we're going to add this yeast mixture to our dry ingredients. We're going to do this just until it's combined. And then we're going to turn it out on our work surface and begin to knead it and add in our additional flour. The recipe calls for 3 1/4 cups of bread flour in addition to the wheat flour, but we only added, in the beginning, we only added 2 1/2 cups. So we'll just use the additional that we need in order to bring the dough together. I'm going to flour my work surface here. So I've got the additional 3/4 cup of bread flour there. I'm just going to use whatever I need, and then I'm going to knead this dough for 5 to 8 minutes. I'm just adding in a little bit of flour at a time as I knead it. It smells absolutely amazing. Now, of course, this just helps it form the gluten, and after this kneading process, we're going to let it rest and rise in a warm place for 1 1/2 hours. This is such a therapeutic thing to do, making bread. I don't think I'm going to be needing much more flour in that. I'm going to go for another minute. It's a really good texture, just a little bit tacky. I'm going to oil my bowl. I'm going to cover it with a tea towel and put it in a warm place. I baked something earlier in my oven and it's still a little bit warm. So I set the timer for 90 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, now it's been 1.5 hours and the dough has more than doubled in size. Just lightly flour our surface here. We're going to punch the dough down. We want to divide it into 4 equally sized pieces, as equal as you can get it. You just want to shape them into small little loaves. Just 4 equal size loaves. Now this is kind of the way that they serve it at Cheesecake Factory, in little loaves. And you can cut it right on a little board that they give you. I'm going to take a parchment lined baking dish. And I'm going to take each of the loaves. Now I've just sprinkled a little bit of cornmeal in a small plate. I'm just going to touch the bottom. Just going to take a little bit of water, lightly brush the tops, and then sprinkle on some rolled oats. All right, so we're going to do one more rise. It's only going to be 1 hour this time. But we want to take some plastic wrap. We're just lightly going to spray it and put that sprayed side down right over the top. I'm just going to put it in a cold oven with the light on, and that should be a warm enough environment to let it rise for another hour. So we'll be back. Okay, now our bread loaves have risen again for the second time, anywhere from 45 minutes to 1 hour for that step, and they've risen for 45 minutes. think they're looking good. So I'll take the plastic wrap off and we'll cook them in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 35 minutes. Okay, the brown bread loaves are out of the oven. They look absolutely delicious. I tested the largest ones with an internal temperature and they were over 190 degrees, so they're done in the middle. The next thing we're going to do is just lift them onto a cooling rack and let them cool for a few minutes, and then we'll cut into them for a taste test. Okay, the brown bread has cooled a few minutes, probably not long enough, but I'm going to go ahead and cut into it because I love hot bread. It smells amazing. Gotta have a little butter. Let's give it a try. Wow. That's very tender. I can taste the molasses, a little hint of the cocoa in there just because I know it's in there. But it's so good with the whole wheat and the bread flour mix. Absolutely delicious. You really do need to try this bread. There's a few steps to it and you have to wait for it to rise a couple of times. I think it's a great addition to any holiday table. If you want a mixture of bread, and then our bread that we made earlier with the cranberry walnut and this bread in a bread basket, that's really good. Thank you so much for joining me here again on Hope's Homemade Kitchen as we made 2 different Copycat breads. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell for notification of more videos and comment down below. I'd love for you to share this video with your friends, and we'll see you next time.